Hello, this is Jeff Byers. Welcome back, and we are working on part 5 of our sci-fi weapon. So we're going to go ahead and move down here. I do want to take care of this little piece right here. So I'm thinking instead of grabbing a cube, we'll just grab this guy right here and do a Control D and hit the W key and move it. Okay. Like this, move it up, and then we will rotate it in the right direction here. I have step snap on. You can get rid of that if you want to. You can see that I've got step snap on to relative. I'm going to turn that to off for now so I can freely rotate it in place. And let me continue just rotating that real quick and get that piece done. I'm going to close that. Normally I like to have step snap on, but in this particular instance I'm going to have it off. And what we're going to do is going to place that into the right spot. I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to select this and move that. Select that and move this, and select this and move that. And that's how simple it is to create that object. Okay, like that. Get that as flat as we can. All right, that looks good. We got that done. That was pretty easy. So all the pieces so far that we have finished are these pieces right here. So let's go ahead and do, this was the largest piece. Let's go ahead and go to the second, and this is going to be a little more complex. So we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to vertex mode and just move those guys down. Again, you guys can stop my video anytime or slow it down if you want. I'm just going to move that vertex over this way. Normally, I will probably have to move this a little closer as we pop this up, because we're going to move that up and we're going to kind of see where we're at. So I'm going to move over here and see if this will work for us. Okay. I'm going to go perspective mode, and we're going to go to face mode and click on the top face. Hit the 4 key just to look behind it. Make sure you don't have anything else selected. Go to the front view again and do Control E. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and move that up. We can also hit just the W key and just move that up. All right, and we're going to go to vertex mode, marquee select, move it into place. No different than we have been doing. Okay. Unfortunately, in this instance, I didn't think about this part right here. So I'm going to go Control Z back. I'm going to move that up like we did up to that point. Okay. That's the mistake I made. All right. And if you went too far back, you'll have to select the face again, and then just make sure that if you do Control Z and you go back, but make sure you still move it up to see if the extrude is still working. If it is, you'll have to move it and then you can extrude again. Okay. If you go too far back, then you'll have to go ahead and click on the face and extrude it up again. But it doesn't matter what you do, just as long as you get it extruded up once. And then we're going to go extrude again and W key and just move that up. Okay. So this gives us the freedom to get this shape in right here, like that. And then this shape in here, like that. And of course, then we have this piece right here that we just need to normalize to that shape. Let's go ahead and get that out just a little bit so that all looks good. That looks pretty good. Okay. So now we're going to go back into face mode again, go into perspective, hit the 5 key, click off, and now we're going to go into these faces here. Okay, just looking around, make sure I don't have anything else selected. Hit the 4 key, kind of look inside, make sure nothing else is selected. And from the front view, we'll continue modeling. So Control E, W, and we move that all the way back. Okay. All right, and then of course we will continue extruding, so Control E, and then we want to hit the W key and just move that down. We can now at this point I'm going to use the center because we're in a different mode. We're going to go ahead and bring it down right about to there, and I'm going to use the scale key. Now I'm not going to use the center one, which is uniform scale. I'm going to use just this scale, okay, like this. This is a non-uniform scale, and this will keep me from squeezing it in just up and down. Just height-wise, we're going to squeeze it in. So Control E again, and move it down like that. Control E, W, Control E, W, and so on and so forth. Okay. And we're probably we probably should, there's a couple extrudes I probably don't need, but anyway, let's get down to right about there, and then Control E and then W, and we'll move it down one more, like that, and then we're going to hit the R key and just scale that up a smidgen, and then W key to move that up so we can get that nice curve here. Control E and W, move that up. Looks like we got a break right here, so I'm going to also just kind of scale that up just a smidgen and then move that up a little bit like that, and maybe just a little more. Okay, that will work, and then Control E and move. And this is where we have to have more divisions here to keep that curve going, so I'm going to go ahead and scale that and move it. Okay, right, and then Control E and move and scale like that. And this is pretty straight here. Okay, and then Control E and move, then across like that. And of course, I'm going to follow this down here. And this is another part that's part of this inside piece that I'm not going to deal with right now. I'm just going to follow this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and scale that up to the correct proportions. And then we move that over to that piece right there, and then Control E and W and move that. And of course, we'll move that down and scale. Again, you can see I'm scaling it non-uniform in the Z axes. That's important. And then Control E again. And of course, again, feel free to continue to, and here's our break. This is a really great place to break the edge loops. So I'm going to move that down here like this, and move these down here like that. And this edge loop will then we'll move it up this way. We'll extrude up. Okay. So I'm going to hit the 4 key and select the face mode, and I'm going to do Control E, W, and just move that up and over. And we have kind of a strange thing right here, so I'm going to go ahead and scale that in. This time we're going to go scale it in this way. Again, we're not scaling in here. We're scaling it non-uniformly, and we're going to do that in the Z. Okay? Let's talk about scale. We see this kind of weird thing happening here, right? It's not really scaling in that direction. So what we can do is double click on the scale and go from object to world or component. And if we do component, you can see that now it kind of lets us scale it non-uniformly in that axis. That it's following the normal of the face. Okay, and this is the same thing with this one. We'll go component, and when I do component, you'll notice that we're able to now move that around. Okay, I didn't get this exactly, but I can come back to it, no problem. I'm going to continue. I'm going to make sure I'm not selecting anything else. I'm going to continue and just kind of double check my work and notice that I'm not squeezing in, I'm not scaling in here, and that's really important. Okay, So from the front view again, we're going to continue, Control E and W and move that up. Okay. And then Control E and W, move that up. And at this point, I'm probably going to go and just kind of scale this just a smidgen. And then scale this up a little bit like that, and then move it. Okay, now that might be a little bit too much. I probably went a little bit too far. Scale that just a little bit like that. And then Control E and move that up again. We're just extruding. Okay, like that. And extruding and move it up. And extruding, move it up. Extruding, scaling, move it up. Extruding, scaling, move it up. So extruding, and then move it up. And then if we need to kind of place it, and if we need to scale it, we can. And we're getting kind of at that point, we're going to scale just a little bit. And then extrude, and then move. Okay, man, it's not changing, but I am going to rotate just a smidgen here, and then move it again into place. And Control E, move. And Control E and move. Okay, and then kind of scale that up a little bit to fit. And then any adjustments we need to make now will just be per vertex. So I'm going to go all the way to the end. I think we're good here. And let's take a look here. Let's move these guys. Again, I'm going to reset everything. So I'm going to click off that. In my move tool, I'm just double click on that and reset the tools. And get it kind of where I want the tools to be. That looks pretty good. This one's a little bit off, like that. That's a little bit off. I'm going to keep that nice and straight. And the very top one's a little bit off, so I'm just going to move that around. You're just kind of getting everything set up properly. And just kind of get it following the reference a little bit better. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the entire thing so far. All right, so far so good. Okay, one of the things I'm probably gonna do, because I see some, I can see the faceting on here. It's not really smooth. I can go to edge mode and go to the top view of this, and just marquee select. I don't even have to see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna marquee select it. And just marquee select all of those, and all those pieces will be soft. So I'm going to go to mesh display and click soften edge, and there we go. Okay, now this is not our final width and thickness and all that stuff. We're going to be making some adjustments to make this look more realistic, but the shape is really starting to take a good form. And then we'll take it from there, and in the next video we will continue to work on the handle and the trigger and some of the inside pieces that we see here to kind of finish this up, and of course we'll do the end piece here. Alright, I will see you in the next video.